Hi, Megan. How are you today?
Hey, Ranjeet, I'm great. How are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. So, what's
Awesome.
your question today?
Yeah, we have a few questions lined up, so we'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Today's featured question is, as a professional in the technology sector, how can I effectively utilize the showcase criteria to strengthen my application for an EB1A green card, which is aimed at those with extraordinary abilities?
Wonderful. This is a very interesting thing because originally this particular criteria was felt to be considered only for artists, actually. And there have been some few people in our program who have been in a more of a technology field and they have utilized this criteria. And I would like to respond to this in the following way, Megan. That the term artistic in the context of EB1A can be broadly interpreted to include various forms of actually creative expressions. It's not about that you being an artist, it's about what's the your expression is, and demonstrating how your technological achievements carry an artistic or a creative component can align with the USCIS criteria. Now, if somebody wants to, effectively utilize this showcase criteria for strengthening the application for EB1A green card as a professional in tech sector, please remember first thing that it is the work that needs to be showcased. So even if it were an app or if it were some kind of a display, some kind of a product that you is available on internet that possibly can be showcased, but not just any speaking engagement. People believe that if they're talking, if they're making a general speech, they're invited as a speaking engagement, they can use it. In my view, that should not be permitted for this. And one can follow the following strategies for one's EB1A application. Now, even if they are speaking engagements, but I'm not referring to a generic speaking engagements on your work or work product. Like if you are talking about your patents at a notable conferences or seminars or symposium, this can be utilized as evidence for the work being displayed at artistic exhibition or showcase criteria. Now, these events essentially serve a platform for professionals to showcase their achievements and share the expertise with peer and public, which could potentially align with the criteria. Now, second thing is that if there is a trade show, online showcases, exhibition, this can include, let's say, software demonstration, presentations of technical achievements. So there are so many events that happen. So participation in panels discussing significant advancements could be one of the second options. Now, third thing is that it is crucial to ensure that the quality and caliber of evidence should meet the requirement by USCIS. Similarly, when you are claiming the work has been displayed at exhibition or showcases, please provide evidences of caliber of significance of the events also, like who organized those events, how many people participated, who was the audience, and all this stuff, and if possible some kind of testimonials. And it is important to focus on quantity over quality and focus on the impact of your presentation. So if there is a feedback or reviews of these exhibitions, that will be very helpful, and highlight how these engagements have contributed to the benefit of the field and have been recognized by your peers, which could, let's say, underscore one's position as a leader of someone in the top of the field. And you may include, let's say, additional activities in technology sector that involve innovative problem solving, development of new technologies, significant advancement in existing technologies. And I'm very confident that by integrating these strategies into your EB1A application, one could effectively demonstrate one's extraordinary ability. Now, there are, as I mentioned to you, few of the people that whom we have seen in our program who successfully navigated using this criteria. And if whatever you are displaying or talking about your work, it also forms a cornerstone in the field of your expertise, one could potentially use the same, kind of work product that one has done for your original contribution also. So that's, I think we would just leave it for later discussion. But this is how a non or a person with a technology background or a non-artistic background could potentially use this as a criteria. So that's my submission. Now,
Wonderful.
thank you. We know that a lot of people have been asking this question, and this is very helpful. And I would encourage more people, if they're applying for EB1A, should definitely try out this criteria. Now, we have three guests here today, and we shall be inviting them one by one. One we have today is Apeksha Jain. I would be requesting her to join the stage, and then we will kind of, talk to her, and then we'll move to Rajiv, and then we'll move to Monica. So here we have Apeksha here. Hi Apeksha, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, Ranjeet. Hi, Meghan. Yeah.
Hi.
My question is, Ranjeet, I have been in the tech industry from almost 16 years, and I have changed my domains. So I started my career as a wireless embedded engineer, and gradually I have moved to applications, and now I'm in AWS services working at Amazon. So I don't see myself as having expertise in like one specific domain because I've changed quite a bit, though stayed in the software industry only. So I'm finding it hard to understand, the expertise area that I can pick up for my EB1A profile.
Okay. Now, Apeksha, what's your education background?
I'm a master's in computer applications.
Okay. Now, many people associate expertise with an education background. That's a normal belief or trend that happens. And that's why when somebody joins a program, we actually take them through a process which roughly takes anywhere from 30 to 60 days to identify the expertise. Now, let me give you a snapshot of that, and that might help you to kind of navigate yourself if you want to identify your expertise. The one way to find your expertise for the purpose of EB1A is that what is the common thread of all the successes that you have achieved so far in your professional career. It may not have anything to do, and I will illustrate this with an example also. This may not actually have anything to do with education qualifications, but what has been the common thread of you performing something. That's one of the key ways to do it. Now let me give you an illustration in my own case, and that will give you an understanding, and that might help you to navigate through your own process. Now I have been a statistics and computer programming and a management graduate. After that, I worked in a financial services for sales. Then I became a director of Symbiosis. Then I became an HR head. Then I became a financial planner. Absolutely, you see, there is no connection between the two.
Okay.
Because there cannot be any good example that I can give myself, because there is no connection, as you can see, between 4 jobs if I had. And when I was applying for EB1A, somebody said, oh, you guys working with Financial Planning Standards Board, so you can make yourself as investment expert. Somebody said, oh, you are doing certification programs for education, so you can be, let us say, a certification expert or a management expert. Because you are a chief executive officer, you could be a management expert. But somehow I felt that, one of the key things that you have to understand, that for the purpose of your EB1A, you need to present yourself at the top of your field. So you have to be best. So first is that is why choosing your expertise is the key aspect here. Now what I did was, while I was kind of struggling, and this did not come out as just the way I'm discussing with you, because that's a very it took me almost 6 months myself to identify that expertise. But finally I chose to present myself as financial educationist. Now there is a common thread. I am an expert in financial education who is working as a CEO of a company. Got my point? Now we were doing certification programs, so financial education was a very natural choice for me to showcase my expertise, because then what are the different skills required for that expertise that you should have education understanding. So even I could connect it to the fact that Ranjeet, when I got my letter of recommendations or something, so I was the director of Symbiosis. So that also gave an understanding, saying that, oh, Ranjeet was an educationist. He knows how to kind of educate people. So he becomes a good financial educationist. Are you with me? Another skill required for that is people management. So I had also served as a head of HR, one of the IT conglomerates. So, he's a HR head. So that helped him to pull out. So I pulled out that particular auxiliary expertise from my principal expertise.
So can you portray yourself as having 2 expertise?
No, expertise, remember, financial planning expert, educationist.
Correct.
So if you are a financial planning expertise, so you have to also showcase that, how that expertise came into existence to you. It may not have anything to do with your business title per se. Are you with me? So that would be one of the ways. So it's a very, very I can promise you, Apeksha, it's not going to be simple for you. You have to list down all your, successes that you have done, what you think the skills that you have developed over a period, and find out a common intersection between the success that you have achieved and your skills and knowledge what you have. And that's the way, because once I did, okay, then I said, okay, fine, if I have to present myself as financial educationist, that becomes a expert. Because if I say myself as investment expert, there will be people far better than me who can beat me down to pulp. So you need somebody where you can be the best and take a path to choose yourself to be the best in the world for that.
Okay, that I'm finding it hard actually. That's what.
Okay. But do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. It's just that, I was, I think for 7-8 years, I was a wireless engineer and I have left that field behind. So I don't think I can showcase my expertise in that.
You don't have to do wireless engineer, but what are the skills that you developed as a wireless engineer that are required here? So for example, financial education is more like an educationist, right? So I was a director of Symbiosis, I could pull myself from there. I had a finance knowledge, so I could pull out from this. So there are people like, for example, we had somebody from one of the healthcare industry in our program. Now he was an IT expert. He's a software engineer. But we gave him an expertise when we are doing a deep dive. After it took almost 45 days to find out he was a software performance tester. In some cases, we went into very specific like DevOps. There was one particular person who was a logistic in charge of logistic engineer, software engineer in one of the delivery companies. Okay. So we gave him a geospatial software engineer. Now, something like this, something that has, because he had a past experience with organization, ISRO and a couple of other things. So we pulled out something from there. So you can always pull out. It's a very, very deep dive exercise we have to do with each and every. So it's not something that I sit with you for 5 minutes, so your expertise is click. It will never. But once you do it, it's not that it is carved in stone. The nomenclature can change. For example, somebody has been a logistics expert. In fact, if I may say, from the same organization as you. So we said, okay, at a point of time, we change it to supply chain.
Okay.
So that much of flexibility you can keep, but fundamentally it has to be in a niche area. You understand?
Okay. And software engineering is a niche area?
No.
Or is it too wide?
It's too wide, actually. Because then you are competing with all the software engineers in the world.
Correct.
So basically, you have to see that, okay, with whom you are competing. So, so that's why I said, for anybody who joins the program, it takes roughly 45 days. So we tell people that just keep your heads down and just focus on sharpening, identifying your expertise. And remember, there are 3 dynamics of success for your EB1A. The first is degree of your expertise. Once you identify it. The second is understanding EB1A jurisprudence. And jurisprudence means what USCIS is looking for, from where this whole concept of EB1A is coming from. What does USA want? You see, EB1A is actually not about you. It's about what you are giving back to the United States. And the third is how to present yourself. So I repeat, it's number 1 is degree of your expertise. Second is understanding immigration jurisprudence or EB1A jurisprudence. And third is presenting yourself. So it's an interplay between all the 3. Once you know where to fit in, you find your sweet spot between these 3 dimensions. And you can just, that is why we have, somebody who's a 23-year-old gets EB1A. There is a 28-year-old from the program, he got EB1A. And there are people even with $1 million salaries, they struggle actually. Because it's not about your salary or your company, it's about your identifying the right expertise, being an expert in that, understanding what USCIS is seeking, and learning how to present yourself. That's it.
So the expertise does not require a lot of experience.
Well, that's a good point. It's not about your experience, it's about impact factor.
Okay.
It's about impact. So some people, as I said, 28, somebody who got it in 2 years, you can do impact, but other people might take 20 years to do that.
Okay.
You see, there's another, before I let you go, understand that EB1A is not about you, as I said, it's about the impact that you have created in the world. So it's you see, our entire education system or learning that we have had over the years has always trained us to earn well, live well, and take and work for somebody. And that's how our mindset has evolved. But when
Yeah.
it comes to your EB1A, it's about what have you given back.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
the perspective, and how this another that's why I said there are multiple layers how to identify your expertise. But what I have seen is that once you identify your expertise, people
Okay.
people get highly motivated because they realize their core
Okay.
why actually.
Okay. Okay.
Rather than because we tend to work because we feel we are getting well paid, so let's do this, so we are happy about. But EB1A would not look at from that perspective.
Okay. Okay. I think I'll be looking forward to the program.
Absolutely. So wish you all the best, Apeksha. And do you have any other question before I let you go?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Apeksha. Nice to see you.
But so friends, that was Apeksha, and a very wonderful and intense question. But remember that finding expertise is one of the core areas before you begin your EB1A journey. It's not easy, I can promise you that. But once you do it, it's wonderful. Okay, now we are going to invite Rajiv. So here we have. Hi Rajiv, how are you?
Hi Ranjeet, I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful.
Hi Meghan,
Hi, Ranjeet. How are you?
doing well. So Ranjeet, I was looking at your previous webinars and taking lessons from there, but I have jotted down 3-4 questions, which is crucial for me to understand whether this program could be a good fit for me. And at the same time, I would also want to understand the broader aspect of the EB1A approval process. So
Please go ahead.
So my first question is, I think you touched few of them in the previous call, but I wanted to understand, since there are some cases with NLP also, where the applicant or the applicant has a bachelor's degree, not a master's degree, but of course they have a huge achievements and significant profile before enrolling the program, which leads to an extra ability. But do you believe without a master's degree and these achievements, a comparable profile can be built through NLP, which would suffice for EB1A?
Okay, a very I like your question.
Because I am not a master's degree holder.
Okay. Let me give you a very correct perspective, and I will be honest about the truth here. What happens is that EB1A, for that matter, does not even warrant any education qualifications per se. Let's understand that. And since we are looking at people from the LinkedIn, and people, we feel that there might be a lot of people on LinkedIn who are getting EB1A and who potentially seem to be having masters. Let's look at it from that perspective. But in reality, EB1A, I have seen even people who do not have a formal education qualifications have been getting EB1A.
I understand that, but the thing is, like, if you're looking for an athlete or an artist, they might not have a master's degree, or they might not even need it. But if someone who is in a technical field,
absolutely, I will come to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely, we have had 2 people from the program, first of all, who were bachelors and who got their EB1A. That's the first and foremost thing I can tell you, because as Apeksha was also asking the previous, person who invited, who was there on the show right now, the person also asked that core thing, as I said, is identifying your expertise. Once you identify your expertise, frankly speaking, your expertise is not a function of your education qualifications. Remember, you are linking your education qualification for the purpose of your EB1A, which is truly not the case. The question is of your impact factor, how you have done, and your progressive experience, what you have. Knowledge you can attain by virtue of your own reading and your own, kind of reading literature also, isn't it?
Right.
So that's the way I have seen people doing it. And it is just a matter of somebody putting a right amount of efforts, because we see 3 things in a person, and somebody who is a professional this program can help people who are themselves at a professional realm. We are not helping people who are artists or who are athletes possibly at this stage. Second is, we see that whether a person is coachable. I mean, not from a feeling of entitlement or somebody who feels that he has already achieved something. It becomes very difficult for that person to be coachable, to learn new things. So second is a coachability, and third is putting in the right efforts. And Rajiv, I can tell you, it's not only about your degrees or anything. I can tell you, I'm having 2 or 3 more people who are not 2, 3, in fact, at least 10, who are just undergrads, and somebody even who are younger. I mean, that's another dimension which I don't know how old are you, but I've also seen people who are 23-year-old who got EB1A, and we had met, and somebody from the program, he came to me when he was just 25 and a half, and at 27, 28, he got his EB1 also. And the youngest person whom I think I know, but I've not met that person, is a 19-year-old lady from India. And it's not that they got some exemplary award. So forget about qualifications. Even in case of your age and experience also doesn't matter for the purpose of you being considered for EB1. I hope that answers your question, Ranjeet.
Sure. I wanted to understand if the master's degree is, I mean, it may not be important for everyone, but someone who's showing their skill or their ability in the technical field, I thought it might relate that maybe if you have like 15 cases, 20 cases, only 2 or 3 people have their bachelor's only. Rest of the things might have their master's and bachelor's. So I was just trying to think how much it is making sense to just go through with bachelor's plus my profile.
Oh no, I think I have seen your profile. I have your LinkedIn profile. Meghan did show it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a very promising case, let me tell you. But yes, I have seen that. Oh, another aspect I may share with you, that 90% of the, in fact, all the people from the program who got EB1A, 90% of the evidences or 90% of the output that they gave us after the joining the program. It was never before.
Right.
And in fact, another aspect I'm going to share with you, which I think should comfort you, when USCIS officers should look at your petition, they will not even know what's your education qualification. You don't even have to speak about it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, this is.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to. Okay, let's put it this way. I always tell people, if it is about your position or something, then somebody should go for EB1C or something else actually.
Right.
Okay. If you're talking about you think your qualification is required, then go for EB1B. You can be PhD also for that.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a master's, then I think you have EB2 actually. And even if you're bachelor's, still you can go for EB2. But Rajiv, the more important question is that you have to see that do you have a priority date for yourself?
Yes, I do.
What is that?
It's June 2021.
Very good. Now, how much time do you think it will take for EB2 to become current for you?
I am not even thinking about that.
Absolutely. So you can do things what is in your control. And let's look at other scenario. Suppose you say that, okay, fine, I will do masters and then I will apply for EB1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let me promise you, it will have no bearing on that. I'm not saying you should not do masters if it helps you for your professional career, because I was again talking to Apeksha just a moment back. I mentioned something that our entire education system is geared up towards the fact that we work in a company and we do well and earn money. Am I right? That's the way
yes. So Ranjeet, I was thinking about doing a master's anyway, but if it makes sense to do this master's before I enroll to the program, I'll wait for some time. But if it doesn't require, do let me know.
No, it definitely doesn't make any difference. In fact, we got recently an EB1 achiever. I mean, just on a colloquial way, actually, it helped. He did masters, but he got a wonderful scholarship because he got a green card in hand. Because as a US citizen, US resident, he can get a good, kind of scholarships and all are available. And even the fees were just that you get a FAFSA loan and all. Actually, are you getting what I'm saying?
Right.
So that is a more advantageous, in fact, if you do it after, because there is a lot of kind of potential for you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So if master's degree is not so critical there, what kind of profile? I'm a mechanical engineer. What kind of profile you could consider this as a further step towards extraordinary ability?
The first is, Rajiv, we have to, as I was mentioning to you before also to the speaker person, that first is to identify your expertise. That's the first thing. And then we do certain exercises with people to really understand, what is their core kind of niche or expertise that can be positioned for the. It has actually nothing to do with education qualifications per se. Unlike, when you apply for H1B or when you apply for, EB2, then they see their qualification, there is a perm and qualification matching with the roles and responsibilities. There is nothing like that here. So we have to see that what value do you bring in by virtue of your understanding that you have developed over the years. So actually this is not, but yes, I always tell people, and I would just, at the cost of duplication, I would just repeat this. The criteria should be coming at the end, actually. The first is to create a persuasive story about you that would make people, kind of where the criteria will fit into your profile rather than you trying to fit into into the criteria.
Right. Since you made this clear that this is not as a higher priority, it could be like come at whatever stage it needs to be. So it's okay for me now.
Absolutely. And that's the reason, Rajiv, we have seen, and not only, since you're not asking, how many years of experience you have?
I have over 13 years of experience.
Okay. So that age is not a challenge for you. But imagine somebody at the age of 28 getting EB1A or 26 getting EB1A. I mean, even we have seen that happening. So even because a person who is, and that too undergraduate, are you there with me? So even that does not matter. So age or this thing, but the intensity of work matters. We'll talk more about it when you are in the program. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. And anything else I could help you with today?
Oh yeah, I have a few more questions if you don't mind.
Okay, fine. Let's do it quickly.
So, okay. The second question about what I learned about this program is the time commitment and the effort required by individuals for this NLP program. Now, if I am willing to invest my time and the necessary efforts needed, what do you think are my chances of getting my profile built and get this approval?
Rajiv, I mean, let us understand. Honestly, we have seen it's not about, I really cannot, legally and officially, it would be very unfair. It's like asking you joining a school of engineering and saying that, okay, what is my guarantee that I will go to USA or I will get a good job of X amount? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It is it would be very unfair for me to do a qualitative assessment based on something which is not in our control. But what we have seen, let's understand, it's like you trying to, do we have an established process that has stood the test of the time? The answer to that is yes. I can only tell you one thing. If you are aspiring for, EB1A right now, you may not even, once you are in, you may not even need to have, look at even Google for EB1A. Are you there with me? So all information that you get, every knowledge, every step of the way, it's like you're trying to climb Mount Everest. You don't know how to do it. You don't know what to do.
Right.
So this program serves as a GPS for you and help you to kind of follow the trail which is there. And help you to create a new path also, which may not be there. So even if your case is very unique, still we have seen that helping successfully for people around.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes. So I think I had two questions left with.
Okay.
So I think one of your session, I was looking at your last session and somebody said like you suggested that for a higher salary criteria, you might want to switch jobs. But what I was thinking is my current job may not help me with that criteria. However, it does give me a peace of mind for and the necessary efforts for the program. And what I wanted to understand is, do you believe high salary is an essential sign of this program, the ability, or it is possible to have this even without a high salary bar?
Absolutely. Even like people have a misconception that original contribution is a must for EB1A, salary is a must. No, not necessary at all. If you have it, it is good to have. Because somebody asked me that, should I change it if I'm getting a high salary? My answer was not yes or no. You should not change it for EB1A. I mean, I did not, since it was a public forum, I didn't want to get into, but later on the person told me about the quantum of the amount once he joined the program. But I cannot, if you're getting a good, you should do it for the salary, not for EB1A. But yes, if there is a higher role, higher responsibilities, then it will make sense. And to what extent the organization is willing to support you even for EB1A would make a good impact.
Sure.
Otherwise,
so my current employer is quite supportive on that part, and they're willing to support whoever is needed. I didn't talk about that with them, but what I understand is they're quite supportive. So
no, definitely. I've seen a lot of major corporations and organizations have been very helpful. and we can look at it when you are in the program. We'll definitely tell you how to kind of, to get the best for yourself. Okay?
Sure. And the last question is just about the second step of the EB1A. I understand it is a two-step process. The first step is getting 3 out of 10 criteria, which I think I can get into that, maybe 4, 5, even 6 if I get the right support. But what about the second step process, the qualitative evaluation? How does NLP help me or any candidate to navigate through that step?
In fact, let us understand one thing, Rajiv, that you are not getting, when you get your EB1A, it is not because you fulfill the criteria. We have seen people even who joined the program, even they would have fulfilled even 8 criteria maximum. I've seen 3 criteria, 4 criteria. The whole idea is to demonstrate. There are 3 words that I'm going to use. One is sustained acclaim, totality, and final merit determinations. The one is sustained acclaim is a statutory requirement. Please understand that. It is a function. It may not be temporal in a way that it is not a function of time, but it's about the work and impact that you have created. So depending on how you have done it or how you do it, it is going to impact that. And specifically, we help you to kind of present the right evidences. So that leads to the next thing is totality. Totality is that how you present it. And the last is final merit determination, is the actual, documentation, the quality of your evidences. Now, obviously, you have to produce evidences. Remember, it's the quality of the evidences. So, for example, somebody is getting in, somebody may be a good candidate for a Forbes Business Council. So, we have recommended people to go for Forbes Business Council. So, how to approach Forbes, how to do this. So, there are multiple variables that will be there. And our aim in the entire program to help individual is final merit determination and totality and sustain only. In fact, the criteria are the byproduct.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else, Rajiv?
No, I think you answered. I wish I would have given more time on that questions, but I think that is all I have for now. Thank you.
Wonderful. I wish you all the best and see you later.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Ranjeet.
So wonderful. That was Rajiv, and very intense and incisive questions. And we have the last speaker for today. She is Monica. I'm going to request Monica to come on the stage. So here we have. Hi, Monica. How are you?
I'm good. Ranjeet, how are you?
I'm good.
How are you, Meghan?
Great. Thank you.
Ranjeet, I just came across your few videos and reviews just yesterday. So I have not prepared a lot of questions, but I just want to give you a little bit of background so that you would be able to gauge into my expertise and background. So I did my MBA from India, like you just explained that your experience is like a
Monica, there is a distraction, so we can't hear you. So could you be more audible, please?
Hold on.
So that is Monica talking, and
am I audible now?
Yes.
Hello, guys. Okay. So, Ranjeet, I just want to give you a little bit of my background. I did my MBA from India, and then had a job in financial services, and then moved to US, did my advanced master's, a STEM program in financial economics from Ohio University, and then I'm working as a financial analyst. And I graduated in August 2021. I'm working as an analyst since past a little over 2.5 years. So just want to, have an idea if someone like me who is like from a business and finance background, wants to, aiming to get this EB1A, what prerequisites they should be working on before joining your program.
Okay. Monica, how many years of experience you have?
So in India, in financial services, I have over 6 years, close to 7 years. And in US, I have little over 2.5 years.
Okay, so that makes good. Now, first of all, when there are two ways I would like to respond to this question. By the way, I also come from a non-technical background. I have my own expertise was finance actually. So I was working with Financial Planning Standards Board. So I think more from as a EB1 achiever myself, as well as with my own experience, I can tell you this. Second is we look at only three things, Monica. Let me tell you. Whether are you in a professional realm of your work when you are kind of applying for EB1A, because currently this program cannot help artists or athletes. So somebody who has, even we have seen people with a 1 year experience or 2 year experience, they have been kind of, with the right efforts, they have been pretty successful. Second, we see a coachability of a person. Are you willing to learn new things? Because what happens is when you apply for your EB1A or when you start your EB1A journey, there are a lot of new things that you will have to kind of learn and unlearn from the previous things. As I was talking to the previous speakers also, there would be our entire education system. We associate ourselves with them and we try to connect with, the organizations where we have worked for. But EB1 is not about that. We have to isolate them and see the impact factor of your work. You have to see yourself more as an expert in a particular domain than your business title or a position or your qualifications. And the last we see is that amount of effort that is required, because it's a matter of your incisive learning new things. It's like, are you willing to learn new skills at any age? For example, solving a Rubik's Cube. I mean, the amount of that mindset that is required, you require that kind of mindset to get into the EB1A journey. Let me put it that way. So, honestly speaking, from your profile perspective, you are good to start your EB1A journey, but the output of that will be a function of how much you do, how much you learn, and how much you are ready to bring on the table. 90% of the evidences or the output what people have given have been after they have joined the program. We have to weave a story or try to create a persuasive story based on your past work, definitely. But we will have to, but a lot of things that you will be doing will be coming out of your comfort zone and doing things. So yes, you are a good potential candidate. There are people who have applied before and successfully or unsuccessfully navigated to 3 or 4 criteria and even 8 criteria before they joined the program. But that is not sufficient. We see everybody from the scratch, and we look at each and every individual as if like he's a novice. I mean, whether he's a 28-year-old with a 2 years experience or a 40-year-old earning $1 million salary with the top end Fortune 5 company also. And that's the approach that has been very successful for us, for the people. I hope that answers your question, Monica.
No, it does. It does. I know. I also saw the review by Dikshit Reddy. He did his master's here in US, and then he just had like not even 2 years of experience when he came along and joined your institute. So I was just thinking, is like because he was talking about the education, paper publishing, and reviewing. So I am like I told you, and you also shared your mixed bag of experience from India. The reason I did my advanced masters in financial economics was to pivot my career into analytical background, to build my analytical background. So, and I'm ready to learn, but just wanted to know a little bit that what I'm getting into. I'm not like, okay, one day I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all pumped and I can do whatever you say, but after a month I will know this is not working out. So I just want to have a little bit of idea. Maybe your team can look over my profile and let me know that, hey, Monica, these are the things you should be working on, or we would have you work with us. And then, because that's like the foundation is for this visa program is that you work on yourself. It's not that you would be guiding, obviously you would be guiding, navigating us throughout the process. But I just want to know like what actually step by step I would be working, not the legality purpose, but on my
No. You can have a session with Meghan. She would explain to you. We have a very systematic process for each and every individual who wants to join the program and how to help it. But remember, as I said, that majority of the work that you would be doing for the purpose of your EB1A would be once you have joined the program, because maybe we'll pick up certain elements from your past experience. So we have seen that, because normally our education or our jobs are not gearing up. So no matter whether you have a 10-year experience or a 5 years experience, that's the reason for Dixit's success.
Correct.
Okay, so you're whatever somebody, let us say, is working with XYZ company, let's say even that Fortune 5 company, he may not have done anything that may be relevant for the purpose of your of EB1A. But Dixit, what he did in last 1 year, he did everything what was required to be done. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So that's
So I also-
exactly the difference.
Yeah, I also saw D'Angelo's law video, like criteria of like the basic criteria. So what do you have a liberty to say? What does it mean by USCIS requirement when you say high pay job? Meaning, how much is a high pay? Like for me,
that's a different. Well,
2,000, for
since
you,
this is
200,000. So what's the high pay job?
okay, now this is a very interesting response I will give. I won't, since this is a public forum, I won't be asking you your pay, but just keep kind of one thing in mind, that it has to be relative to other people in the field, and a persuasive case has to be built up. A bad persuasive case, I have seen even somebody drawing $1 million salary, not fulfilling that criteria, while somebody in the range of 150, or even I think the lowest, if you ask me to see, if somebody is going for that criteria, even 150, 140 being successful.
Okay.
I think that should answer your question. I think so. I guess.
Yes,
So.
you're saying like the range should be 150,000.
I am not, because if somebody is drawing before that, whether a case can be made for that, we have to see for that particular. Sometimes the age also matters of that individual, the experience also matters. So it's more from a relative. Remember one thing, Monica, it's not because you are fulfilling the criteria you would be given EB1A. It's about you are an expert in the field who can bring in the value, and you kind of wish to continue the work in that expertise. Is because of that somebody is going to give you EB1A. It's not about you, because that's the reason why people have fulfilled. I always tell people that, okay, it's like saying that, okay, you are talking to White House and saying that, look, I'm Monica, I'm an expert in XYZ, this is what I bring on the table. I know there are 1.5 million people waiting for the green card. Please put me in the first in the queue, because this is what I will be benefiting the United States. Now, to reach that level of vibration. And lastly, before I let you go, I just want to tell you something. You are absolutely right when you said that no matter whatever, it's like joining a weight loss program. You initially you join something, and the first of the year you are very happy in the beginning. Then obviously the monotony will creep in actually, and then at the last stage, even that is even more difficult. So it's also about your mindset, whether you are a EB1A, how badly you want it, or are you ready to put in the effort. You see, putting efforts, everybody can say that they put it, but when it comes to the physical labor of that, it becomes a little. So if you are ready for that, then definitely we can help you.
Yes, because halfway through, it's like if a lot of time taking, you cannot maintain that work-life balance. So it's gonna hit my job and then my personal life. So just for getting a feel of like how many hours on an average I would be or I should be.
Normally, we have been suggesting to people if your work also it's not only about the work for EB1A, it's also a perspective that you will get on your current work experience that gets connected to EB1A. Are you with me?
Yes.
So you get even to understand how to present your own work and how to kind of work with your organization. So there are a lot of elements involved into this. But typically what we have seen is, putting around 10 to 15 hours per week very incisively has been helpful.
Okay, understood.
Okay. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you and wish you all the best. See you later. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Monica. Bye-bye.
And there's one more person actually. Last, I think we ran past behind time, but I think since he's already here, we'll be happy to take him. He's Mr. Kumar S. So Kumar, we'll be getting you on the stage. Hi Kumar, how are you? Oh, I think he has left.
Oh.
That's absolutely fine. So I think that's all we have for today, friends. And I think please, drop your questions to us. And in case you want to join the show, please let us know. We'll be happy to kind of have you amongst us till next week, and we'll be taking up more questions and another featured question that will start on a critical role. So wish you all the best and have a wonderful weekend, friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.